Italian workers in Germany. The following rules are in place for workers who voluntarily work in Germany. A commitment of a maximum period of 1 year before returning to Italy. The Superior Commander of the German Federal Armed Forces announces 1. Whoever is in possession of weapons or explosives not reported to the German headquarters will be shot. 2. Whoever harbors bandits and/or protects them and provides them with clothing and/or weapons will be shot. 3. Whoever is aware of the existence of any rebel groups or even lone rebels without reporting them will be shot. War rages on the Eastern Front. An attack launched by the Soviets after hours of cannonade. The fight on this front has been going on for a long time. Fighting in Normandy. Victorious Germanic counterattack on the road from Perrières to Carentan. Pont Heber reconquered north of Saint-Lô. Many US losses caused by the flying bomb action. Pervitin again. I feel like these pills do nothing other than agitate her. General Edict K. New rules on curfew and women's behavior. German command of S. Vincenzo Attori. Telephone number 1185. Romola, 15th of July 1944. Dear Mrs. Irene, I'm writing to let you know that all is well here at the villa. Thank you for being so considerate and caring. I apologize for the simplicity of the housing you were forced to live in. I also locked the room where the little one used to stay as requested. I've left you the key. It is the one with the pink keyring. Try to stay safe. Best regards, Nanny. Why on earth did Mummy have that door locked? It was my room. What is she trying to hide? Dear Mother, this is hard, but I have something to tell you. I found out that Julia is pregnant. Go to the lake tomorrow morning at 7 and watch her as she bathes. You'll see that her tummy is growing. Martha. What? I'm not pregnant. Why is everything becoming even more confusing? I'm searching for an explanation, but instead I'm left with more questions. She leaves them everywhere. I think she's having too many and too often. There are more and more weapons around, and everyone is scared after what happened. This is Mummy's jewellery. She wears them every day, even though Daddy says it's impractical and dangerous to show signs of wealth these days. As usual, she doesn't want to listen to reason and ends up arguing with Daddy until he goes to play war, as she says. How wonderful the snow is. Unfortunately, it doesn't snow often around here. I'm already dressed. I'm already dressed. Our beautiful home. In spite of everything, I prefer being here. During deep winter, I would go to sleep snuggled by the fire and Nanny would get angry. Do you want to turn into a piece of charcoal, Julia? The only way people could tell Martha and me apart was by dressing differently. Even Mother couldn't tell us apart. This painter was a friend of Grandpa's. I always loved his paintings. As a child, I used to look at them for hours. Our wine. Daddy is so proud of it. I don't like wine all that much, but I go crazy for our dessert wine. It is very sweet. A tripod is necessary to take photos with long exposures. I have found what I need to take infrared photos. These workbenches fascinate me. I would love to learn carpentry. This is where Nanny's husband made my dolls. What is this, a joke? Maybe someone wrote on the film? Also, what does that even mean? Light, like divine light? Something to do with religion, maybe? Dante's Inferno illustrated by Dore, always hanging cheery things. Here are my cards. Nanny and I always used to play with them. She would predict my future and I pretended to predict hers. The future was always good for everyone. Maybe when she read them, she saw my true future which she hid from me. Or more likely, these cards are actually just a stupid game to reassure and deceive oneself with. But deceiving oneself is sometimes necessary. How can we live happily otherwise? The solution is still far away. I must be patient and wise. But luck is not on my side, unfortunately. The solution is still far away. I must be patient and wise. But luck is not on my side, unfortunately. Nets for catching butterflies, poor creatures. I had so much fun with them. This is the centre of our farm, but since we moved here, it hasn't worked like it used to. Security matters, Daddy says.
Los, schnappen wir uns diese Bastarde! Los! Hey, hey, hey! Los geht's!
Hier lang! Hier drüben!
Oh, hey! Vorwärts! Hier! Sie sind da lang!
Verdammt! Los, laufen!
What is going on here? What are the soldiers doing? It's dangerous, I know, but I want to follow them and see what's happening.
Verdammt!
Oh God, please no. Lapo, my dear friend. What have they done to you? Your handkerchief was the symbol of what you believed in. At least that is left of you. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself.
Du hast ein Mädchen erschossen, du Idiot.
Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße. Was machen wir jetzt? Sieh mal, was sie um ihren Hals hat. Sie ist eine von ihnen. Es musste getan werden.
Sie ist die Tochter von General Erich K., du verdammter Trottel. Sie war die Freundin von diesem armen Kerl. Oh, verdammt, jetzt sind wir wirklich am Arsch.
Scheiße. Lass uns abhauen. Aber sie lebt noch.
Sie liegt im Sterben. Siehst du, wo du sie getroffen hast? Sie ist bestimmt schon tot. Wir müssen jetzt abhauen, sonst sind wir auch bald tot.
I'm dying, I thought, but strangely enough, I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was almost relieved. When I returned, I found myself once again in the midst of a bad dream. One whose meaning I did not understand at the time. I give you back your appearance. 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 Now I see with my eyes. 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 Now I see with my eyes.
Two sisters were destined to die. Julia, the first sister, and Martha, the second. On Julia's day of departing, identical twins stood before me, impossible to tell apart. They questioned my presence, since they were still so young. Julia must come with me, I demanded, but they both claimed to be Martha. I explained that Martha's fate was soon to be the same, and their games were useless. I didn't have time for it. The war was keeping me busy. But they didn't concede, and instead kept insisting. Can we follow you together? No, impossible. Are you sure Martha will die too? Nothing is certain in wartime. What if the wrong person went with you? Then you would have cheated death. One would die unjustly, and the other would simply be delaying her fate. They discussed amongst themselves, then hugged before one of them came forward. She stared in a determined, almost threatening manner. I guessed it was Martha sacrificing herself, giving more time to her sister. But I stayed silent, not to reveal their failed deception. No one lies to the face of their own death, so I asked how their choice was reached. We drew lots by throwing a medallion, she said quietly. They had trusted in fate. Oh, how naive they were. They knew fate plays by its own rules, which is true, but it is also my ally. Fate never would have allowed the wrong girl to follow me. In that case, my work was done. She must have been Julia. However, little to my knowledge at the time, that blasted medallion had the same name engraved on both sides, Martha's. So, my first assumption was correct. They were too damned smart, and had fooled both fate and me. One thing is for sure. I'll put things back where they belong. I will correct my ignorance and give fate back its blindfold.
Ugh. Damn, this hurts so bad. I can hardly breathe. I would like to spend a moment with my sister, just me and her alone, before people arrive for the funeral and then take her away. No, 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 my bag is not here. My diary. Lapo's letter.
How is she? How is my daughter? Please, doctor. Please give me good news.
It's a miracle she's alive, Eric, but she will be all right. The bullet passed right by her heart and exited her chest. Unbelievably, it missed her lungs, spine, and heart. She could have been paralyzed or died. But thankfully, she's fine. I examined her thoroughly. She didn't even lose that much blood. She was lucky. And you were lucky, so to speak.
She was lucky that my wife went for a walk in the woods. Otherwise...
Otherwise, she would have bled to death, yes.
I don't know what to say. All of this. It's too much. So much death and suffering. Nothing more.
Don't worry, Eric. She's young, so she'll recover quickly. I'll be here all day anyway.
Thank you, doctor, for everything. Do you mind coming with me to pick my wife up from the cemetery? The funeral will start soon in the chapel.
Of course not. Lead the way.
You know, with all of these preparations for the funeral, Irene wants everything to be perfect. It's her way of coping, so she doesn't have to think about everything going on. She is a woman who has suffered so much. Maybe too much.
Violence against citizens continues in La Romola, and once again General K's family has come under fire. Now it is the life
What if the bag is here somewhere?
that is in danger. The blow from the gunshot in her back could have killed her. It is only by the grace of God that the girl is alive. The anti-fascist political motive appears to be the only reason behind the cowardly act. The New Zealand troops are advancing slowly. After the Battle of Porgy Ponce, on the 18th, they are still far from the Tavernelli Val di Pisa. The German resistance on the Tuscan hills has been exhausting for the invaders.
General Edict K. There's my bag. Thank God. Let's hope Lapo's letter is in there. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself to that fact. I have to stay hidden, and sadly I can't run to you, even if I would love nothing more than to hold you tight and cry together. No words. I just want to be close to you. Can we meet in the barn tonight? I will try my best to be there around midnight. Don't be alarmed, but if things get ugly, please remember this number, 6934. He knew he was in serious danger, but what about the letter? I had it in my hand when the soldiers ran off. Mummy found me, and if she's read it, well, she hates Lapo, and now she must know who I am. No, she probably would have left me there to die. She'd rather have no daughter than the wrong one. Before I passed out, I must have put it back in my bag. There is no other explanation.